So here's the deal. I spend way too much money on things, like way too much money, okay? I don't really have a whole lot of strategies that'll help me save money. In fact, I'm pretty terrible with money. So recently what I've been doing is I've been tracking my expenses every single day. Ever since I made this Excel sheet here, I've been getting a much better idea on how much money I'm spending. And what I realized is I'm spending a lot more than I thought I was spending, ridiculously more. So here's my plan on how I'm saving money on food expenses going forward. And these are gonna help you a lot, especially if you're living abroad by yourself. And my first tip is just that: track your expenses. See where your money is going. I guarantee if you're not tracking your money, you're spending a lot more than you think you are. I know I've got a pretty nasty habit of spending a lot of money and not knowing where it goes. I rarely keep myself accountable of how much I've spent, and I'm always just spending money here, there, and then at the end of the month, I'm always panicking. So I made this little Excel sheet and I track how much money I'm spending on what I'm spending, what I'm eating throughout the day, where all that money is going. So whether it's groceries, whether it's going out or spending money on takeout, I get an idea of how much I'm spending. So my estimate initially was I'm probably just spending around $400 a month, whatever, it's not so much. But then I started tallying up the things and I had spent, let's see here, where'd it go? And I had spent around $384 in a week. 1 week I spend that kind of money. So that's why I've been tracking everything on my daily journal, and it really encourages you to spend less when you see how much you're spending every day. So that's how important it is to track your finances. And that ties into my second tip, and that is when you go out to shop, you go out with your friends, you go to order food, it's very easy to take your card out, one quick tap, you've made the payment, you rack up 20 bucks here, 30 bucks there, 50 bucks there, and before you know it, by the end of the month, you're seeing $700-800 in food, and you're like, how did I spend all that money? But the thing is, when you have such easy, quick access to spending money all the time, you really lose track of where your money is going. So a strategy that I've implemented is I leave my debit card and my credit card at home, especially if I'm taking my lunch to work. I want to make sure that I'm not spending extra money. The other thing, and this is it's a bit of an experiment, but I've been trying it out. Instead of using your debit card or your credit card, use cash. Now you'll notice when you're spending money, when you're giving away cash, you can see the actual physical money leaving you. You feel a lot more emotionally invested in your cash than you would when you take your card and you just tap it, because you're just accruing money somewhere else. You don't have to worry about losing money right now. But when you're using cash, that cash is leaving you then and there. So you'll find that you're a lot more choosy, a lot more picky in how much money you spend, especially on things that you really don't need to spend money on. So if you're looking at a menu and you've got a $22 burger, you might be inclined to order it if you have a credit card. But if you bring like $25 or $30 with you out to lunch, you know you're not going to be spending all that money, and you're going to be making a lot wiser of a choice when you do go out with cash. I'm heading out to see some of my friends. I know I'll be spending money when I'm outside. I also want to get some groceries, so I'm taking with me 50 bucks. I'll go to my friends, spend a little bit of money. I know I have to save some money on the way back to go to the grocery store. So all of this is the maximum I can spend today. If I had my credit card, if I had my debit card on me, that number could be anywhere. Chances are I'd probably blow a lot more money at the restaurant itself and never buy any groceries anyway. Another thing I've started doing is having specific budgets for specific things. So I know how much I'm gonna spend on my rent. I know how much I'm gonna spend on my bills, and these are the fixed costs you have. You can't really mess around with them too much, but all the things that you can control, like your food, perhaps your travel, or maybe even your entertainment costs, have specific budgets for them, either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, so that you have again, only a finite amount of money you can spend. So at the end of the month, you're not surprised by, oh God, I spent $1,500 on eating out, or I spent $500 on entertainment this month. You're not going to be surprised by that, and you can combine that with having individual budgets for everything in cash as well. I like to have cash outside in envelopes designated to certain tasks so that if I'm running low, I can gauge, okay, this is how much cash value I have left. I gotta tone down my entertainment, gotta tone down how often I'm eating out, and that way you'll save a lot more money when everything is planned out for you. You probably already know this, but don't eat out, period. Cook at home. Getting your groceries, making everything on the home from scratch is not only going to save you a ton of money. I'm talking like if you're spending money on eating every meal outside, you're spending anywhere between $10 or maybe more than that. If you're eating cheap, crappy food, you're probably spending less than that, but really you're not doing yourself any justice with your diet, right? So spend money on groceries, buy things that are healthy for you. It'll save you a lot of money for a fraction of the cost. I like doing a lot of meal prep. I'll prepare everything ahead of time and I'll put them in these containers here. I'll chuck them in the fridge and then I have meals set for the entire week. That way I'm always ready to go when it comes to a meal. I don't have to say, oh my God, I have no meals ready. Let me just order something, or let me go across the street and buy something from the store. That way you'll spend a lot more money. So make sure you have groceries done. Cook yourself. If you don't know how to cook, learn to cook. I'll be making a meal prep video soon as well. It's gonna save you a lot of money in the long run. Speaking of groceries, I would highly recommend not going to buy groceries when you're really hungry, because you know what happens? You step into the store, you're like, I need chicken, I need beef, I need chips, I need this chip dip, I need chocolate, and you end up buying everything, things you don't need, because you're hungry and your stomach is taking you across the store buying all the things that it feels like eating at the time, and you spend so much more money than you would if you had gone after having a full meal, being saturated in the stomach, going out, making a logical choice, okay, this is what I need, and then just buying that. I like to make a list of things that I want before I leave the house. So if I go to the store, I'm not walking around the aisles buying things I don't need. I know exactly what to get. I go, get that stuff, leave the chocolate aisle alone, go straight to the checkout and just buy that. It'll save you so much more money. Buying things in bulk. If you buy, say, a packet of chicken, that's a 1 meal serving thing. This guy just interrupted my video. If you're buying chicken that's only a 1 meal serving, it's gonna cost you a little bit more than if you had bought a lot more chicken in bulk. And plus, if you buy it in bulk, not only is it cheaper, but you can come back, cook all of it in one go, make your meal preps, have everything ready to go, and you'll save yourself some money as well. But be careful, you don't have to buy everything in bulk. What I used to do is I used to buy all these vegetables, all this meat and everything, and a lot of it would just sit in the fridge for a while and I'd forget about it. It would go bad and I'd waste money on just buying and storing vegetables and buying and storing supplies from the store. So don't buy so much that you're not going to use. I like to buy a maximum for like 3 or 5 days. Sometimes I'll even buy my groceries every day. You don't want to spend too much time just going to the grocery store because mine is right across the street, but just buy enough that it'll last you so that you have that urgency in your head as well. Okay, I need to eat my food now before it expires. Don't buy food for like a month in advance. I feel hungry, I don't want to cook, I don't feel like going to get groceries. The easiest thing for me to do is pop open the Skip the Dishes app, order some food, spend $30 easy on one meal, because you have the food cost, you have the delivery cost, you have the tax cost, and then you got to pay the guy who brings your food. So all of that ends up costing you so much more. $30 for a meal is ridiculous. And imagine you do that every 2 days, every 3 days, all of that is gonna pile right up. In fact, when I was tracking my expenses on my food, I noticed a lot of that money was coming from food that I was ordering in. So delete all of those apps off your phone. You don't even want it there, because if you look at it, you're like,
I could order some food instead of just going out. I'll just, yeah, you know what, one time doesn't count. And one time gets to 2 times and 3 times and 5 times, and you end up spending $900 on food that month. So delete those apps as soon as you can. Now, it's important to realize not everyone has the same lifestyle. If you're going out with your friends, they have a different lifestyle, they have a different amount of income. Not everyone is hell-bent on saving money. And when you go out with them, they're not trying to save money, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna splurge some money as well. So every time you go out, you'll notice your social gatherings will really cost you a lot of money. So you have to pick from your entertainment budget or whatever budget you have for going out when you're spending it. The other thing I like to do is eat before I go out. So if I'm a full stomach going out, when I go to a restaurant or when I go somewhere to meet my friends, I just order myself a drink or something, sit around, save a bunch of money, enjoy my time with my friends. And if I'm feeling a little hungry, maybe I'll order like a snack or an appetizer or something, just enough for me to not be one of those people who just comes to a restaurant and doesn't order anything, but just something where I don't splurge a bunch of money, but I do enjoy time with my friends as well. So try eating before you go, and then eat a little something when you're out, but you don't have to spend money on a whole full-blown meal there. Okay, last but not least, stay away from all the deals and all the Boxing Days and all the whatever Thanksgiving sales, Amazon Prime sales. Stay away from all that, because there is bound to be something that you want or you've been thinking of buying that's on sale and you don't really need it, but you know what, it's $50 off, I'll just go and buy it. I have been sucked into that so many times where I bought one thing on Amazon and then it showed me another thing that I wanted and another thing that I wanted, and you know what, I bought way too many things that I didn't need, but that's why I'm trying to teach you not to do the same thing. Don't go out on Boxing Day. If you go out, you walk into any of those stores, it's really hard to walk out without buying one thing. And if you don't know what you're going to buy, if you have one thing that you've been saving up the whole year for, sure, go and buy it or even order it online. But if you go to the shop, chances are you're not just gonna buy that one thing, you're gonna buy 50 other things, and you're gonna walk out with a bunch of stuff. You feel really good about yourself. Oh my God, I got such a saving. But then when you think about, oh wow, well, I wouldn't have bought any of this stuff if I were at home, and you would have saved yourself a whole bunch of money as well. So take advantage of these sales for things that you actually need, you actually want, things you've slept over, you've thought about it for a while, you've made the decision that you want to buy it, you've been saving it for a while, but don't make impulsive decisions and stay away from these sales for as long as you can, because I guarantee you a lot of your money will be wasted there, and I certainly have wasted a lot of money there myself. And I'll be 100% honest, this is something I'm trying out as well. These are things that I've newly implemented because I've seen how much money I've been spending in the past. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I am already saving a ton of money because, again, I am tracking where all of my expenses are going. So try this out for yourself. Sounds pretty good on paper. I'm sure if you try to implement it, you'll save a lot of money. If you have any other ways that you think I could benefit from or other people watching this could benefit from, please share it down below in the comments. Let me know how you save money, where are you saving money on the most, and I'll try to implement that in my videos as well. Again, I hope you're enjoying my videos. Make sure to check out some of my other videos as well. I will see you in the next one. Take care.